Okay, whenever you get a new GPU, whether it be brand new or used, there's a few things you want to do at the very beginning. First off, you're going to want to go ahead and install some drivers. Then second off, you're going to want to go ahead and, run a stress test for a little bit to make sure it's not overheating. So to install the drivers, you're just going to type the name of your GPU. Mine's an R9 390X. And then driver install, and you should be able to pretty easily find a link to your GPU's manufacturer site. Go ahead and find the most recent driver install, and click download. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and click on it to open it, and then go ahead and click on through the installer like you would any other. You'll be greeted with this screen where it'll be detecting your system configuration for driver and software compatibility, and then it should bring you to this screen where you can choose some additional options like to factory reset. I would suggest doing this if you've had a previous GPU in your system, as it can help to clear any of those previous settings on drivers to hopefully prevent them from conflicting. There are other third-party tools like DDU, which are really helpful to completely remove all the drivers, and I'll be making a video on that in the future, but for now, I'm just going to use the factory reset option because I think that'll probably be fine. So just go ahead and click install, and then wait for it to install. Your computer will restart during this process. That's normal. Your screen will flicker. It's completely fine. Just click install and then follow the directions from here. Okay, so unfortunately I wasn't able to record the rest of the installation process for you guys. I was actually having this weird error where if I did a factory reset and let it automatically install through that, I'd get an error 1603 or something with installation. That might be partly because I'm installing a Windows 10 driver on a Windows 11, which should theoretically more or less be fine because Windows 10 and 11 are actually very similar. And since this is an R9 390X, AMD actually does not release new drivers for this card anymore. But it was completely fine. Just go ahead and let the factory reset uninstall the driver, and then go to your file manager, navigate to downloads, and then just double click here and run through a normal install, as in don't select the factory reset option, and it should work completely fine. So now we're in the drivers. I'm just going to go ahead and skip this, and all of this looks fine. So now for the stress testing. I have a video on stress testing that I've already made. I'll link that below. I suggest going there to get some overall ideas of what stressing is, that type of thing. But basically, you can just go and download the Furmark ROG Edition stress test, which I will have linked below. And then just select the resolution of your monitor. You can click all this stuff. I'm not going to click full screen so that I can interact with OBS on the side. And then go ahead and just start running it. And then you're going to want to watch your GPU temps. So mine's at about 58 Celsius right now, but it is climbing. So I'm going to let it reach equilibrium, which shouldn't take too terribly long because it's an air-cooled card. And as long as it's like, probably less than 70 degrees Celsius, I think that's fine. Okay, so I've been running this for way longer than I've needed to, almost like 25 minutes now, but it's stabilized at about 74 to 75 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly fine for operating. I know I said more like 70 degrees Celsius before, but processors, I think usually the TJ Max isn't like the maximum thermal junction temperature that you should have, yada yada yada. It's something like 95 degrees Celsius. This is way below that. I'm still going to go ahead and repaste the card so that if you have a problem, you know how to, and because I just want this card to last for a long time so that I can use it for future benchmarks. But this is basically what you should do when you get a new GPU. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure to check back in for when I benchmark this card against my RX 580.